Hi, and welcome to another episode of Animal World. I'm your host, Dr. Kevin, and this is my co-host, Dr. Joe. And today we'll be having a Q&A with questions asked by viewers like you. Today's topic is about the annelida phylum. Bill from New York asks, what are annelids? Well, Bill, annelids are basically worms. They are soft-bodied animals which do not contain a skeleton or an exoskeleton, so they are classified as an invertebrate. There are over 12,000 species of annelids over in the world, which are categorized into three classes: oligochaetes, polychaetes, and hirudinids. Oligochaetes are your earthworms, polychaetes are your marine worms, and hirudinids are your leeches.
For our first question, Jill from Liverpool. Other than my garden, where do worms live, and how do they adapt to their environment? Good question, Jill. Worms can live in almost every habitat imaginable, except those of archaea. Earthworms can live in mud, sand, and sediment. Leeches live in ponds and lakes, and marine worms live in the bottom of the ocean. For earthworms, they have adapted to have very smooth and streamlined shaped bodies to make digging really easy, which is the reason why they do not contain skeletons. It is because they have to be very flexible when digging. For leeches, they have learned to swim. This is because mammals like to congregate in water, which means there is a big blood source for leeches in the water. Also, they have developed to produce hirudin, which is an anticoagulant, so they can suck blood endlessly until they're full.
Tony from Oakville inquires, if I were to magically transform into a worm, what would I be eating on a daily basis, and how would I behave? I don't know, Tony, but if you were an earthworm, you would be eating dead plants, animals, and organics. If you were a leech, you'd be eating blood from all different kinds of animals. Dracula, perhaps? I think not. And if you were a sea worm, you'd be eating zooplankton, crustaceans, and sometimes fish. Also, being a worm, you would want to surface when it's raining. Scientists think that the reason why worms surface because it's raining is because the atmosphere is moist as the dirt down below. Worms need moist air because the moisture helps keep their skin moisturized, which is their way of breathing. That's right, Tony. Worms breathe through their skin, using what is called diffusion for the oxygen and carbon dioxide. But you might ask, why wouldn't worms stay in the dirt? For worms, it's easier to travel above ground.
Take, for example, the Lupercus terrestris, aka the common earthworm. Its kingdom is Animalia, its phylum is Annelida, the class is Oligochaetae, order Clitellida, family Lubricidae, genus Lupercus, and species L. terrestris. As you can see on the anatomy of the earthworm, there are organs that you would commonly see in an animal, such as the mouth, the brain, or the anus. And since earthworms are hermaphrodites, there is an ovary, a seminal vesicle, and a sperm duct, and a seminal receptacle. However, what is different in worms is that they have 5 hearts. They need 5 hearts because hemolymphin, the type of blood in worms, can only be circulated using multi-chamber hearts, or in this case, 5 hearts. Also, earthworms have setae, which are little hairs that provide movement, and clitellum, which is used during the reproductive stages of earthworms.
Also, the medicinal leech, Hirudomedicinalis. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Annelida, class Hirudinine, order Hirudinida, family Hirudinidae, genus Hirudin, species H. medicinalis. Rather than a mouth and anus like an oligochaeta, they have an oral and caudal sucker. The oral sucker has teeth which dig into the skin of the prey to suck blood. Although not noted, the salivary glands of the leech produce hirudin, an anticoagulant which helps with blood to not clot when sucking the blood. Also, as you can see, there are no setae on the leech. That's because they use their suckers to move like an inchworm. Finally, there is the peanut worm. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Annelida, class Polychaetes, order Circumcularians, family Circumculidae, genus Circumculicus, and species S. nudus. As you may see, There are no reproductive organs in the worm. That is because, for sea worms, they develop reproductive organs during mating time.
For our final question is from Richard. Richard inquires, I know that worms can be male and female, but what does that mean when it comes to reproduction? Well, Richard, annelids can do asexual and sexual reproduction. To be precise, only earthworms and sea worms can reproduce asexually. What these worms do to reproduce asexually does one of two things, budding or fission. Budding is when the worm grows a part that is meant to be broken off to grow, or the worms can do fission, where it just splits in half. So it is kind of like bacterial fission. However, even though these worms are hermaphrodites, they are incapable of self-fertilization.
For sexual reproduction for oligochaetes and hirudinines, partners line up by facing each other by the clitellums. Then they exchange sperm. Afterwards, their clitellums secrete a cocoon of mucus, which captures the gametes, eggs, and sperm. However, this is where things are different. For earthworms, the fertilization is done externally in the mucus cocoon, like an in vitro fertilization. But for leeches, the fertilization is done internally. Afterwards, the zygotes start to grow from the mucus cocoon. When the offspring leaves the cocoon, they are not in any form of larva. They are simply smaller adults.
For polychaetes, they first convert to develop reproductive organs. Then they surface to the ocean to release gametes, where it is fertilized with the respective gametes. Afterwards, the parents die. For the zygotes, there is a cell stage as shown here. There is the mouth, the anus, the brain, and the cilia. Well, that's all the time we have for today. For this episode, thanks, and we'll see you next time.